Should black men date white women?
What's up, world? Welcome back to Cancel Thoughts. It's your boy Better Days here. I've always been really fascinated with the level of hypocrisy that exists in the world, and one of the areas where hypocrisy manifests itself the most is in dating. So today I want to show you guys a video from a TikToker who kind of talks about interracial relationships, and in particular whether or not black men should be dating white women. But before we get into it, you guys already know I'm about to ask you guys to do me a solid and hit that like and subscribe button for more content. Trying to make sure as many people find this channel as possible, and the only way I'm gonna do that is with you guys' help.
Should black men date white women? That's the TikTok I just saw. So this girl was talking about how she was approached by a lady or a young girl and her group of friends, and the girl asked, do you have a problem with black men dating white women? And some of them were like, yeah, some of them said no. And then she went on to say, well, my bigger question would be, why do the white women feel like they need to date black men? And then she went and explained, like, oh, it's because of the kids, and they want them to look, the kids to look a certain way.
One of the things that I've always been confused by is the people who literally feel like it's their place to have an opinion on how other people choose to live their own lives. It's like, so long as people aren't making decisions that are impacting you directly, why do you feel like it's any of your business? Do you think the world like revolves around you and your desires and your wants, or is it like something deeper than that? Because it just doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever.
Mind your own fucking business.
People are allowed, so long as they're consenting adults, to do whatever the hell they want. Leave them alone. That's number one. But number two, another thing that I've noticed kind of throughout the evolution of this conversation is, at first these people tried to shame black men out of like dating outside of their ethnicity and all that. And what I think they've kind of noticed is that black men are really, really rebellious, and men in general are really rebellious. And the more you kind of tell them to not do a certain thing, is the more they're actually going to do that thing. So what they're starting to do now is try to come for the women. And because I feel like women are a little bit more socially influenced and they care a little bit more about social perception and everything, they make videos like this kind of pseudo defending their relationship decisions. And to women like this, I would just say, and to anybody in these interracial relationships, do not feel like you have to defend your relationship decisions to anybody. So long as you and your partner are happy with you guys' relationship,
nothing else matters.
All that other nonsense is just noise. People coming out here talking on the internet about how they feel like you should stay in relationships with people of your ethnicity, those are just lonely, sad people, and they just want you to be sad and lonely themselves.
Not sure I agree with that, but still we're moving on, because the point of this of this lady's video is she gets to the end and she says, we need to have more conversations like this because they're not being had anymore.
Isn't that an indication of the progress that we've made, that these conversations don't need to be had anymore because we've normalized interracial dating to a degree to where we don't really necessarily notice it anymore? And wasn't that one of the core principles of the civil rights movement, was that we wanted to start judging people on the content of their character and not on the color of their skin?
Hypocrisy.
And I only bring up the civil rights movement because some of the people who hold these same perspectives, and this is where the hypocrisy comes in my opinion, they will also come out and say things like racism is bad, bigotry is terrible, sexism sucks, and all these stereotypes are bad and everything. And they will hold those perspectives,
which is fine.
But simultaneously, when it comes to things like dating, they will be completely fine saying racist, sexist, bigoted things and just see nothing wrong with it whatsoever. The cognitive dissonance there to me is just so confusing. It's like, yes, you are racist if you think that certain people should only date people in their own ethnicity. Now, it's not necessarily, if you want to have your preference or whatever, I don't necessarily care about that. But when you start going out there and saying white women should only date white men and black men should only date black women, you are a racist person. And the fact that you even notice and you take into account people's ethnicity when it comes to dating in the first place is an indication of your level of racism.
It's called staying in your own lane. Stay the fuck in your own lane. If you don't like to date outside of your race, that's great. I love that for you. Stay the fuck in your own lane. If you
I love that this lady is saying all of this right now. And one of the things that I've noticed very recently is that more and more white people are starting to come out and say, it's not fair for you guys to attack us for our whiteness. We didn't do anything to you guys. We are not responsible for the sins of our ancestors. And I'm all for it, guys. I say this to every single person, whether you're white, black, yellow, Asian, whatever the hell ethnicity you are, do not feel like you should be having to defend yourself against things that you never did. It's not fair to you. It's not fair to anybody, and just continue to stand strong and firm and just go, yo, I'm not a bad person. I never did any of these things, and it's kind of a shame that you guys keep trying to attribute these things to me. And listen, the more and more you guys start talking about it, the more and more you guys start coming out about it, the less and less people are going to feel like they can attack you to begin with. So I'm all for it, and I support you.
You are a black girl that wants to date a white man, go for it. If you're a black girl that wants to date a Hispanic man, go for it. If you're a white woman that wants to date a black man, go for it. You get the point, correct? Got it. It's called minding your own fucking business and staying in your own lane. What does a white and a black man's relationship, how does that affect you? How does that affect you? That is the most mind-blowing part of this whole entire like social media with me and Shane. And when I post him on my social media and I get all the comments, I'm like, how the fuck is my relationship an inconvenience to your life?
I can tell you exactly what the perception of some of these people are, in that they feel like you took from them somebody that should have been theirs. And yes, obviously they're lunatics and whatever, but that's exactly what they think. They think they're a better choice for your partner than you are. And yes, there's a narcissism there. And yes, we should probably have a conversation about that, because if people think that they're better than other people, isn't that literally the definition of racism? And I'm assuming the ladies that are in her comment section that she's talking about are black women, because those are the only people I feel like would be bold enough to even say stuff like that. But to me, it makes perfect sense in that they think they're better than you. Now, you can't have that same perception because they're a marginalized community. And if you as a white person ever said that you were better than black people, that's racist. But they can say that because they're marginalized people. You see how stupid some of these things really are?
Make it make sense. Do you agree or do you disagree? I think we should all get back in our own lanes and stay there, because what the fuck?
I completely agree with you, sweetheart. I'm just going to close out with this final point, guys. One of the things that I notice with a lot of the people who have these issues with interracial relationships or whatever is that they lack personal accountability. And what I mean by that is when you start talking about black men dating outside of their ethnicity, if you're a black woman and this is something that upsets you, why aren't you looking in the mirror and going, what is it that I'm not doing personally that this other group of people is doing to where the men that I feel like are for me are choosing those other people and aren't choosing me? If you're never having that conversation, if you're never looking yourself in the mirror and going, I can probably change, and if I change and I'm still not getting those results, then maybe something else is the problem, and maybe the people who are choosing to make these decisions for themselves have their own volition and they can choose to make these certain decisions for themselves, and it's none of my business. But if you never even like have the wherewithal to just go, hey, maybe I'm not doing something right,
shut the fuck up.
Maybe you shouldn't even be dating in the first place. But I'm going to leave it there, guys. I don't necessarily want to make this video a little bit too long. I think we're right around 10 minutes right now. So just let me know what you guys think in the comments down below about the whole situation. And what do you guys think about interracial relationships in general? And what do you guys think about why certain groups of people think that they even should have an opinion on what other people choose to do with their own lives? As always, I want to thank you guys for joining me on this video. You guys could have been anywhere else in the world, but you chose to be here with me. And I really do appreciate you. If you liked what you heard today, do me a solid and like the video, share the video, and subscribe if you haven't already. Those things really do help out the channel a lot, guys. And if you didn't like what you heard, thanks for allowing me to occupy your time. Consider leaving a comment in the comments down below, letting me know exactly what it was that you disagreed with, and maybe we could talk about it. Either way, I appreciate each and every one of you guys for pressing play on this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.